All right. Well, here's so I feel like I've lived a pretty lucky life. I've been kind of living in suspended adolescence for about 20 years now.
I can attest to that.
Can you? All right. Yeah. Hardy hard.
Matter of fact, so am I.
Yeah, we're out here together, Dad. Right? Yeah. But I did. I started touring when I was like 18, and that was 20 years ago. And so but I did have a couple of years there where I had this job in the early 2000s. But I kind of got it just through like nepotism. My mother was offered it, and she didn't want it, so she gave it to me. And it was a job that really I can't complain about. It was fine. I was in a vault with my buddy. I ended up kind of getting the gig. It was a contract to dub a bunch of tapes, digitize them. So I had all these tape machines and then a couple of CD burners, and I had to digitize them, and I had to enter records. It was actually through the Public Archives in Nova Scotia, but it was dubbing stuff for the CBC, all that Halifax reel-to-reel holdings. And there was some interesting stuff in there. There was like the early on-site reports from the Spring Hill mining disaster, and that was fascinating and heartbreaking. And there was this great show called Rawhide that Max Ferguson hosted. He passed away this past year, I think, and he was amazing, ahead of his time, really, really funny, a great show. But after that, and now it took me about 2 weeks to do all that stuff, and then after that it was about a year and a half of dubbing Information Morning from 1982, the traffic and stuff, entering records and interviews with people. It got to the point where we'd have to enter records and subjects and things like, it'd be like, there was a lot of interviews with this poet named Silver Donald Cameron, and he was good, but there was tons of it, and so we'd enter things like, yet another interview with Silver Donald. But anyway, we kind of fried our brains. This was in the early days of the internet, and we had all this time because you'd enter a record and then you had about 40 minutes of just sitting there, and we were in a vault with no windows, getting on each other's nerves. And so I just needed a song to express my boredom. And so I think this still kind of holds, with the internet and all that stuff. We kind of melt our brains daily, don't we? All right, this is Lying on a Beach in the Sun. Made its way back into the set list here just because I played it last week. I played with the Halifax or the Nova Scotia Symphony. I had 2 nights with the symphony, and I was nervous, and so this just feels like a walk in the park here in Brampton. Oh, there's nobody behind me, just a bunch of guitars. Somebody introduced me to a member of the club. I think that they confused me with some other rub-a-dub-a-dub. Now I work on the 5th floor where nothing is my fault. I take advice like margaritas with a heavy grain of salt. I always wake up in the night wondering if I'm doing it right. And if I had my way, I'll be getting on this flight tonight, like Joni Mitchell. And in the morning I'll be lying on a beach in the sun, lying to my family and friends, telling them that I have begun, trying to find the means to an end on a beach in the sun, lying just to cover my ass, lying in the sun on the beach, burning like the girls in the grass. I should be working on my manners, but I'm working on my website. All the star-spangled scanners, trying to photocopy moonlight, staring at the computer screen, feeling so alone and obscene, getting restless, getting randy, getting mean. Lying on a beach in the sun, looking for a little romance. Temperature's 101. Brampton, you can take off your pants on a beach in the sun, trying to figure out what to do. Lying in the sun on the beach, realized I did not have a clue. But halfway there, they turn on the lights and a few of you are snoozing. That's cool. It's a relaxing tune. I'm full of hocus pocus, and I'm slower than molasses. I'm coming in and out of focus like a magic pair of glasses. I go down to the staff room at lunchtime, feel like a joke where there's never a punchline. If you step on my toes, I blow up just like a landmine. Give me a raise and I'll be lying on the beach in the sun. Nobody but my money and me. Is this your definition of fun? Or it's only 20 past 3, I could go for a swim. Still be clinging to the company line. There are sharks out there, I think I saw a fin. Or maybe I'm just losing my mind. Ooh, it's the sound of me losing my mind. Ooh, it's kind of peaceful. Somebody take a memo. We're all on automatic. We're gonna get it back together. We're gonna need a little static. Somebody check my pulse or slap me in the face. Show me what I'm made of. Get me out of this place. It's like a weird technological dream, watching your buddies turn into machines. We never get our hands dirty, but paradise is never this clean. It's not supposed to be. Lying on the beach in the sun, I don't want to get burned to a crisp. You want something to remember me by. You can save it on a floppy disk. So long, farewell. You can kiss my eyes goodbye. If I don't jump ship right now, I'll never figure out how to fly. That's the sound of me flying. Oh, it's the sound of me losing my mind, but we had to recycle it. We had to, we were on a budget. It's like a Rocket Robin Hood cartoon where the background goes by over and over again.